Over an 80-year period, I've traveled literally 1 million miles to curate over 1 million mementos for the Sports Immortals collection.
Dad, it's always fun for me to talk about sports history with such a legend as yourself. Over the time that I spent doing research to write our book, Sports Immortals, Stories of Inspiration and Achievement, I learned so much. The history of baseball wouldn't be what it is today without one name, and that name is Connie Mack, the grand old man of baseball. And I see here, and I know there's a lot of items that aren't here that are in some of these trunks pertaining to Connie Mack. Let me guess, you got them in a Connie Mack collection.
From 1965 to 1985, I acquired 8 mammoth collections of old-timers, and one of these mammoth collections was the collection of Connie Mack. I visited 8 relatives before I found his grandson, Tom Mack, who lived in Toms River, New Jersey. I was eating at Bookbinder's, my favorite seafood restaurant in Philadelphia. Just ordered a 3-pound lobster. After I placed the order, I received a call with Tom's telephone number and got him on the telephone, and he invited me to come right down to Toms River, forgetting that I was about 3 hours away. I got so excited after I got off the phone that I didn't finish my lobster, and I had traveled over 75 miles to get to Bookbinder's.
That's hard to believe. Got
in the car, and by the time I got there, it was pitch dark. It was about 9:30, and I know knocking on the door that his wife was going to be concerned. This total stranger coming. We spent the next 3 hours going through thousands of items that he had from Connie Mack. You know, Connie Mack played baseball as a catcher from 1886 to 1896.
Not many people know that.
Not many do.
Yeah.
And he also played with my favorite team, the Pirates, for 5 years, his last 5 years. Then he managed in the major leagues for 53 years and holds a record for the most games won that nobody's even close.
I've never seen, throughout baseball history, one person that was so beloved by so many different people.
I never had the pleasure of meeting Connie Mack, but if he was anything like his grandson, Tom Mack, he and I became such close friends. And over the years, we kept in touch. And about 5 years later, we both wound up moving to Florida and forming a company called C-Mack Realty. I wound up acquiring the entire Connie Mack collection. I could build a Connie Mack museum with all the mementos.
This is the original Articles of Association of the Philadelphia Athletics. What's neat about this piece is it's completely handwritten in perfect penmanship, and it's signed Connie Mack's real name, Cornelius McGillicuddy. I don't imagine there's too many Cornelius McGillicuddy signatures out there.
I've never seen another, and I think that is truly one of the most valuable signatures you could find. Cornelius A. McGillicuddy, which was his real name, finished his playing career with the Pirates as a catcher in 1896. In 1900, he purchased the rights to establish the Philadelphia Athletics.
The thing about the Athletics, they're not a team that stayed put for the last 125 years. So they were started in Philly, then they went to Kansas City, then they went to Oakland, and we all know where they're going next.
You can imagine how valuable a piece the original incorporation of the Athletics would be to a team like the Las Vegas Athletics.
Maybe one day we could put it on display there and show it off.
The team was incorporated in 1900, as I mentioned. And then 1902, because they were losing so much money, and I guess because the famous manager of the New York Giants, John McGraw, wanted to poke a little fun at Connie Mack, started calling him the White Elephant. Connie, he took it as the kind of a mascot of the Philadelphia team.
So he took a non-compliment and turned it into something positive.
Exactly.
I like that. How about this piece right here? Looks like a President White House letter.
We've got thousands of letters to Connie Mack, from Babe Ruth to Ty Cobb, you name it. Presidents. This one's from Harry S. Truman.
What I love is that they had massive birthday parties for him as he got older. And I know that these two books, this one has letters wishing him a happy birthday on his 75th birthday. And there's letters from some of his favorite players like Ty Cobb and Chief Bender, Frank Baker, Home Run Baker, Tris Speaker, Herb Pennock, Judd Landis, and Ford Frick. Just incredible Hall of Famers that all took the time to wish him a happy birthday. And even Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed this. 5 years later, they did an 80th birthday party for him. And then you have letters from several dignitaries, including Warren Giles, Clark Griffith, Rogers Hornsby, but definitely the most important one in here is that Babe Ruth signature.
The Babe.
I don't think there's a nicer Babe Ruth signature in existence than that. This was a testimonial dinner in honor of Frank Home Run Baker, and this was the 1911 athletics team. This little guy right here was a mascot. I remember one day us having one of the autograph authenticators come in, and he saw this Louis Van Zelst autograph and told us that is one of the rarest autographs, because right after this, unfortunately, he got very sick and he passed away, but he was really loved by the entire team. It seems that one day was more famous than all of them, and they called it Connie Mack Day.
And that was July 10th, 1934. And the famous composer, George M. Cohan, wrote a song, and these are handwritten notes. Connie Mack is a grand old man. 7 pages of song sheet music.
Since the great William Penn, who's the best loved of men, Connie Mack, Connie Mack.
This is a lifetime pass presented to Connie Mack, with the president, William Harridge from the American League and Ford Frick from the National League, in appreciation of long and meritorious service. It's really heavy and made of sterling silver. So this meant that he could go to any stadium, just show this and get in free.
Absolutely.
And here's another weighted piece as well for Connie Mack, and this is a program with a cut signature and the Baseball Writers Association of America honorary membership, Connie Mack. This is Connie Mack with the Three Stooges. What's really crazy, to be honest, I just learned he was a catcher. And I just realized here in this picture, he's actually playing catcher with him.
There he is, making a comeback.
Yeah, and then there's a nice cut autograph of his there. And then I know these baseballs are signed by some of his favorite players. One was during his 75th birthday party that we talked about before. Great signatures from Lefty Grove, Home Run Baker, Chief Bender, and then this one was from a similar tribute to him with signatures from Tris Speaker, Ty Cobb, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, Mickey Cochran, Lefty Grove, Eddie look, all these Hall of Famers.
It's like a
he had to have coached the most Hall of Famers, probably.
Jim, this is one of my favorite pieces that came in the Connie Mack collection. This is a baseball from the first night game in which they had artificial lights to light up the field. The Philadelphia Phillies played Cincinnati Reds, May 24th, 1935.
Now here is a great letter from August 28th, 1900. The baseball history that's in this is Connie writing to some other owners trying to schedule a game, and what they were going to get paid was next to nothing. And it has a really big, nice, beautiful Connie Mack signature on the end. And this last piece over here is some song sheet music.
This is the song sheet music commemorating the 1929 championship team called the Galloping A's, and that is rated one of the greatest teams of all time. We have this beautiful large panoramic photo of the team with all autographs of all the great players on the team. As well, believe it or not, the last ball from the 1929 World Series as well as the program
No
from
way.
Cubs versus Philadelphia Athletics.
Dad, it just dawned on me that we're featuring so much great sports memorabilia from the Connie Mack collection, but looking around, I don't see any bats.
Well, there were hundreds of bats in the collection, but the greatest item is yet to be seen. Lead the way. This is truly one of the great items that came in the Connie Mack collection. It was presented to Connie Mack July of 1941, a sofa containing bats from some of his great players and signature balls as well, including a bat in the middle here from Babe Ruth.
Well, what's very interesting to me is that there's a photo match of this exact piece in the newspaper from 1941. Everything is original with the exception of this cushion.
That's correct. We changed the cushion because it was starting to
Deteriorate, probably. I think this was fun. It's always an honor for me to hear some of your stories and your anecdotes, and I know sharing them with people has really been one of your visions all along.
Can't emphasize enough what a wonderful human being the McGillicuddies were, and Tom Mack. He was like family, he was like a brother, and we'll certainly be honoring him in the Sports Immortals International Hall of Fame, along with the other great collectors and collections that we've acquired in our million-mile journey.
He was the only person related to any of the collections that you purchased that I actually knew. I'm real proud to say that he was a friend of mine as well. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but we are going to honor him in his legacy, in his grandfather's legacy, and whatever we do Sports Immortals related, correct?
That's absolute.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to hit like below and subscribe to our channel. And check us out on Instagram and TikTok.